Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another SCP reaction. It is dark as fuck. This is SCP fucking 701, The Hanged King's Tragedy. The original video, as well as the Vulcan's channel, will be linked in the description. Go support them in any way you possibly can. Like, comment, subscribe to them, all that good stuff. And if you have anything you want me to react to, anything at all, go ahead and let me know in the comment section down below. I read every single comment. That being said, Lego.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Dr. Maynard. I will be filling in for researcher Miller today.
What happened to Miller? What do you do?
The SCP we're going to be learning about is SCP-701. Object Class Euclid. Special Containment Procedures.
Why do you talk like this?
All materials relating to SCP-701 are to be kept in a triple-locked archive at storage site. These items currently consist of the 2 currently extant copies of the 1640 Quarto, 27 copies of the 1965 trade paperback edition, 10 copies of the 1971 hardcover printing, 21 floppy diskettes consisting of data seized from raids on 1 SVHS video cassette tape designated SCP-701-19-A, and 1 steel knife of unknown origin designated SCP-701-19-B. At no time are any of these items to be removed from the room. Access to the area is to be heavily monitored. Absolutely no personnel whatsoever is to be granted access to the archive without the express, in-person permission of doctors and description. SCP-701, The Hanged King's Tragedy, is a Caroline-era revenge tragedy in 5 acts. Performances of the play are associated with sudden psychotic and suicidal behavior among both observers and participants, as well as the manifestation of a mysterious figure classified as SCP-701-1. Historical estimates place the number of lives claimed by the play at between and over the past 300 years. Performances of The Hanged King's Tragedy do not always end with an outbreak. Of the few recorded performances, only have ended in SCP-701 events. According to historical records and investigations, these outbreaks generally follow the same pattern, 1 to 2 weeks prior to event. During the dress rehearsal period, cast members will begin to spontaneously deviate from the published text of the play. Rather than improvisation or gaffes associated with going off script, said deviations will be both orderly and consistent, as if the actors were working off a new version of the script. The cast and production crew will seem unaware of any change, and if it is brought to their attention, will state that the play has run that way from the beginning. 2 to 3 hours prior to event, the outbreak generally occurs during opening night, or else at the production with the greatest planned attendance, generally falling within the first week after the play's opening. 1 to 2 hours before event, SCP-701-1 appears to be on stage in the final scene of Act 1, generally in the background or to the side of the main action. It may seem to enter or exit the stage area, but does not appear to ever enter the backstage or offstage area. It simply disappears when not on stage. The cast does not appear to notice or comment on SCP-701-1, at least at first. The event. SCP-701-1 appears fully on stage during the banquet scene in Act 5. Here, it will be incorporated into the action of the play as the Hanged King. The cast will either murder each other or commit suicide, sometimes using items that seem to appear spontaneously on the stage. Rioting breaks out in the audience, with viewers randomly attacking anyone in front of them, regardless of prior relationship. Following the event, if any of the audience members survive the initial outbreak, they may exit the performance space, in which case they will continue to engage in random or opportunistic violence. Victims will generally require sedation or restraint in this scenario. Normal personality will begin to return roughly 24 hours after the event. Surviving victims will generally exhibit signs consistent with a traumatic experience. Some will have no recollection of the event. Others may be rendered permanently comatose or psychotic.
Shit.
For a typical case study of an outbreak, see Incident Report SCP-701-19-1, an analysis of the events leading up to the last uncontained SCP-701 event during a high school drama performance in... So now, I'm going to go through this. So, this is Incident Report SCP-701-19-1. SCP involved is obviously SCP-701. Date: 19. Location: report prepared by Dr. and Dr. on the content of SCP-701-19-A. SCP-701-19-A is a 187mm by 103mm by 25mm SVHS video cassette tape recovered by investigators from the scene of the incident. A performance of SCP-701 at high school in... Tape was found in a destroyed consumer-grade camcorder, which was apparently recording the performance from a vantage point within the audience. It is the only surviving record of the event. Please see the SCP-701 archives for the full transcript of the recording. In order to compare the identified deviations during SCP-701 event with the actual plot of the published text, see document SCP-701-1640-B1. Tape begins. 3 minutes, 10 seconds. House lights go down. 5 minutes, 12 seconds. Curtain rises. The play begins as published with Gonzalo's coronation speech. 10 minutes, 21 seconds. A possible sighting of SCP-701-1 during Isabella's ravings. An anomalous shadow not belonging to one of the cast members shows up along the back wall of the set. 10 minutes, 24 seconds. Shadow disappears. 23 minutes, 15 seconds. First deviation from the text. Rather than the dialogue between Francisco and the courtesan, the curtain drops and comes back up on the bare stage. Antonio enters from the right. 23 minutes, 24 seconds. First indirect sighting of SCP-701-1. The shadow of a figure seems to appear on the back wall, from stage right. Antonio stops in place and acts surprised. The shadow disappears. Antonio begins a long soliloquy, confirming that he now believes Isabella's story. Dr. notes that while this soliloquy is in the style of the rest of the play and seems to be accurate Caroline-era dialogue, Antonio's speech in this scene does not exist in the original text. 24 minutes 12 seconds, curtain drops. 24 minutes 51 seconds, curtain rises on Francisco and the courtesan. Antonio returns, the play continues as scripted. 31 minutes 14 seconds. First direct sighting of SCP-701-1. It enters and stands at the edge of the stage left towards the end of Act 2, Scene 1. 32 minutes 17 seconds. Gonzalo's dialogue concludes as scripted, with the mention of an appointment with the ambassador from Alegada. He exits stage left. SCP-701-1 seems to turn and follow him as the lights go down. 38 minutes, 13 seconds. Second sighting of SCP-701-1 during Act 3, Scene 1. It appears on the edge of stage right as Gonzalo and Patricio murder Sortino. The scene concludes with Gonzalo ordering his cooks to prepare the corpse as a stew. Scripts recovered from the scene indicate that this section had been cut in rehearsal. 51 minutes, 11 seconds. Third sighting of SCP-701-1. Appears close to stage left as Antonio kills Isabella. 1 hour, 9 minutes, 12 seconds. Fourth sighting, SCP-701-1 enters with Gonzalo at the beginning of Act 4, Scene 1, and follows him throughout the scene. The scene also contains two key moments. First, Gonzalo seems to nod to SCP-701-1 when he mentions the ambassador of Alegada. This is the first time a cast member has seemed to indicate SCP-701-1's presence. Second, the scene...
Hate seeing ads?
Yes! I apologize.
Ends with a deviation from the text, whereas the scripted speech at the end of Act 4 Scene 1 ends with Gonzalo considering his own moral inequity. Gonzalo here seems to be more concerned that his tribute will be sufficient for the ambassador. The lights go down. 1 hour, 21 minutes, 15 seconds. Fifth sighting. SCP-701-1 enters stage left at the end of Act 4, Scene 2, as Antonio leaves to secure a blade for his coup. Rather than exiting, Antonio stops in front of SCP-701-1, who hands him a long dagger. This is believed to be the first appearance of the item classified as SCP-701-19B. Note, there is no mention of the item in the prop list or the other records maintained by the production. SCP-701-1 and Antonio depart the stage together. 1 hour, 32 minutes, 41 seconds. Sixth sighting. SCP-701-1 appears on stage left as Cornari and Lodovico exit. 1 hour, 35 minutes, 10 seconds. Lights come up. Act 5, Scene 1. The banquet scene begins as scripted. 1 hour, 40 minutes, 52 seconds. Antonio enters, bearing a piece of parchment. Here, the textual deviations begin in earnest. Rather than the parchment being Petruccio's confession as scripted, Antonio instead describes it as an invoice from the ambassador of Alagada, proving that Gonzalo owes more tribute than he intends to pay. 1 hour, 41 minutes, 42 seconds. SCP-701-1 enters at this point from stage right. The entire cast seems to perceive it. Gonzalo stands up, curses as an aside to the audience, and runs for stage left. The rest of the cast, including Alinda and Francisco, who enter from stage left, physically restrain Gonzalo and drag him back onto the stage. SCP-701-1, meanwhile, moves to the center of the stage, where it stands in front of Gonzalo's throne. 1 hour, 43 minutes, 8 seconds. A noose is dropped onto the stage from above. The cast force Gonzalo into the noose as he begins to curse in Italian, and in one place possibly Latin. The noose is drawn taut, and the cast drops Gonzalo. He begins to asphyxiate. 1 hour, 43 minutes, 32 seconds. Antonio speaks. With this, the tribute in full, it is paid. The actor takes SCP-701-19-2, the dagger, and draws it across Gonzalo's stomach, spilling his intestines across the stage.
So
1 hour, 44 minutes, 4 seconds. Alinda takes the dagger from Antonio. She speaks, "With this, fool's blood, it is the hanged king's." She cuts Antonio's throat. 1 hour, 45 minutes, 31 seconds. Ropes drop from the roof of the stage, a noose for each cast member. The cast assembles underneath them. Alinda takes position next to SCP-701-1. 1 hour, 46 minutes, 12 seconds. Alinda says, "With this, our blood, it is the hanged king's." The cast hang themselves. 1 hour, 47 minutes, 33 seconds. SCP-701-1 moves through the hanging corpses and to front center stage. 1 hour, 47 minutes, 41 seconds. The stage lights cut out. 1 hour, 47 minutes, 46 seconds. Sounds of screaming and physical violence around the camera. 1 hour, 48 minutes, 22 seconds. A loud sound, most likely the camera being knocked over. 1 hour, 49 minutes, 1 second. The camera is destroyed. The tape ends.
Shit.
For more information on the play's published text, see document SCP-701-1640-B1. In short, SCP-701 is a self-evolving memetic virus, transmitted through unknown means through the text of the play. Dr. has theorized that SCP-701 events may involve. This hypothesis is consistent with a spike in levels detected via satellite in the vicinity of the 19th incident, indicating Foundation agents are under standing orders to suppress any performance or publication of SCP-701 whenever found or detected. Despite our best efforts to the contrary, however, the play remains freely available online, sometimes under different titles. All attempts to detect or isolate the origin of these copies have failed. Suppression of the play's publication has generally been successful, with most copies of a 1971 scholarly edition destroyed before distribution. Nonetheless, copies of the 1965 trade paperback turn up with some regularity in both colleges and high school libraries. Agents are to obtain or otherwise destroy these items whenever possible. History. The first known publication of the Hanged King's tragedy was a quarto, dated 1640. The play's author is not listed. The publisher, one William Cook, disappeared from the historical record soon thereafter. Strangely, the text does not appear in the stationer's register. The first known SCP-701 event on record occurred in 18 during a performance of the play at USA. Other significant incidents include the 1964 performance at a small theater, the 1964 performance at the University,
So much explain shit.
the 19th performance at the University, the first SCP-701 event successfully suppressed by the Foundation, the 19th performance by a student group in CA, the 19th television adaptation by the Broadcasting Corporation. The production of this was successfully shut down by the Foundation before the broadcast. And the 19th incident in OH, USA, designated SCP-701 19-1.
I'm fucked.
Publication history. Original 1640 quarto, all known copies in Foundation custody. 1733 folio edition, republished 1790. 1813 Cambridge University Press edition. 1965 trade paperback edition. 1971 hardcover edition. Agents should note that copies of the play have often been misfiled under different titles or spellings of the title. Furthermore, photocopies of the 1965 text have been found in circulation throughout college theater departments in the continental United States and the United Kingdom. Additional. Given the high probability of in my mind, I again recommend that SCP-701 be upgraded to Keter class. The SCP-701 mimetic virus may very well be the forefront of an invasion scenario. Furthermore, Dr. And for some reason, 1237116060 is written after the name. Curious. And in response to this, denied. None of the current information we have on SCP-701 indicates a XK class scenario. Until we have additional data, classification will remain at Euclid. Face facts, Doctor. The cat's been long out of the bag on this one. And in this line of business, we consider ourselves lucky if we only lose 100 people or so every 10 years.
Fuck.
05. And written next to his name is 12371976060. Okay. Thank you very much for listening, everyone. You have homework. Please read document SCP-701 1640-B1. Thank you for listening. You are dismissed. Thank you.
1640-B1. Let me look at that. Alright, you guys are going to need to prepare because there's a lot of reading. The following is a summary of the published text of the Hanged King's Tragedy classified SCP-701, prepared by Dr. J. Blank, from the copy of the 1640 Quarto in Foundation custody. Dramatis Personae. Gonzalo, King of Trinculo. Isabella, Queen of Trinculo, formerly the wife of Forza, the murdered king, now married to Gonzalo. Antonio, a minor noble. Francisco, Antonio's servant. The Duke of Sortino. Alinda, daughter of the Duke. Petruccio, a noble lord allied with Gonzalo. Lodovico, a servant of Gonzalo. Corneri, a priest. Beatrice, a servant of the queen. A courtesan, a palace guardsman, the ambassador of Milan, the ambassador of Florence, the ambassador of Alagata. Setting. The play is set in the kingdom of Trinculo, probably a misspelling of Trinicaria, another name for Sicily, in the capital city of Circo, another name for the city of Syracuse, I don't know. As the play opens, Forza, the king of Trinculo, has died, supposedly from natural causes. While on retreat from the court, the nobility of Trinculo gathers in the capital for the coronation of the new king. Forza's younger brother, Gonzalo, who has also been married to Forza's queen, Isabella. Despite the text references to contemporary Italian city-states such as Florence and Milan, much of the play setting is obviously pure fantasy. There were never any kings of Sicily comparable to Gonzalo and Forza. The capital of the historical kingdom of Sicily was Palermo, not Syracuse. The author may have chosen to move the play's events to Syracuse due to that city's historical association with tyranny. There is no record of any country or place known by the name Alagata, a mysterious but apparently powerful state that plays a significant role in the plot. It may be intended as a reference to one of the Muslim states or cities on the Mediterranean coast, such as Tunis or Algiers. Plot summary. The plot of the Hanged King tragedy bears a marked resemblance to many earlier plays of the same genre, including Shakespeare's Hamlet and Titus Andronicus. In fact, past investigators into SCP-701 events have noted that the Hanged King's tragedy was often chosen for production as a less violent alternative to the two plays mentioned. The two murders in SCP-701 text can be construed as occurring off stage, and the implication of cannibalism in Act 3 can easily be cut from the script. Okay, so this is just a play. I don't want to read all the play. 701 events. The produced form of the play that occurs during SCP-701 events contains several deviations from the text as published. For a typical example of these deviations, see Incident Report SCP-701 19 blank-1. Licensing citation. Okay, never mind. So I'm going to read typical. Okay, so that's just the thing. So this was interesting, and I got to read. I read. Anyway, this is an interesting one. I don't know what to think about this one. The original video, as well as the Vulcan's channel, will be linked in the description. Go support them in any way you possibly can. Like, comment, subscribe to them, all that good stuff. And if you have anything you want me to react to, go and let me know in the comment section down below. I already have a single comment. That being said, bye-bye.